Tottenham Hotspur are looking very dangerous this season. With a passion-driven manager Antonio Conte in charge, who's no doubt one of the top managers in the game, they're definitely a force to reckon with. 7 games into the season, they're still undefeated, sitting third on the table and level on points with Manchester City at the time of recording. The scary thing about them is that they're not particularly playing well, but they're still picking up points. And this is typical of Antonio Conte. He knows how to win games even when his performances aren't exactly top class.
You can tell what you want, but I'm a serial winner.
So how did he transform them into a dangerous side, and why should other teams be worried? Spurs have easily one of the dangerous striking force in Europe. They have the record-breaking Harry Kane, who is scoring for fun and probably the best striker in the league together with Haaland. Last season's Golden Boot winner Heung-min Son, who despite having a slow start to the season, regained his form by scoring a second-half hat-trick against Leicester, Dejan Kulusevski, who's been consistent, and the new addition in Richarlison, who has the ability to impact the game in ways we haven't seen before at Spurs. This is exactly the type of depth that teams need to compete against the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. They've never had this type of depth before, and it's really interesting to see how they're going to perform this season. With the pace of Son, Kulusevski and Kane, Spurs are devastating on the counter, and it's the fear of being countered that keeps the opposition at bay and stops them from playing their style of football. You see, Spurs want you to come at them so that they can exploit the wide areas behind the defense, and for some reason this always works and requires a very good tactical approach to be stopped. Another position that has been strengthened by Conte is the left wing back, with the signing of Ivan Perisic, who's worked with him before at Inter and knows exactly what his manager wants. Eric Dyer in defense, he's having the form of his life, so much that his performances have earned him a spot in the England squad. He is the most improved player at Spurs since the arrival of Antonio Conte, together with Ben Davies, who's been pretty solid at the back as well. The permanent signing of Christian Romero is a good statement by the club and shows that they mean business. He's a very good centre back as well. Now let's talk about the midfield, which is an area that has seen massive improvement. Bentancur has been brilliant this season with his ability to control the tempo of the game in midfield, but he's not exactly the creative midfielder that Spurs needed to solve their creative problems, so they're still lacking in that area. Yves Bissouma was a pretty good signing. He was a bargain in my opinion, and he's capable of doing what Højbjerg has been doing and perhaps even better. So when he finally gets into the starting 11, Spurs are going to be on a completely different level. The teams that they've played so far are all decent in their own rights, and they are the teams that they struggled against last season. So this just shows how much they've improved with Antonio Conte in charge, and I think they're capable of pretty great things.